Okay, continuing on with homework 21, this is problem number 2. We're going to find the centroid of this funny shape in the x and y, respect to the x and y axes, and we want to use a table to do it. And I picked this one, in all honesty, because it looked like a little dude that was like yelling. Like here's his eyes, and here's like, ah! So anyway, so here's my little dude right here. And I think, okay, so now we're going to subtract out here and here. Maybe this time I'll just be subtracting things. So I am going to now have a big thing. So here's my plan. Is I'm going to take this guy as 1, and then I'm going to subtract out this guy as 2. Subtract out here as 3. And subtract out a half circle as 4, right? So it's going to be subtraction, subtraction, and subtraction. That's my plan. So let me start out with my part, and I'm going to try to squeeze things a little bit more to the left here. So I got my part, I got my X, I got my Y, I got my R, I got my X bar, I, Y bar, I. Maybe I want to give them a little bit more room because I might want to put like some equations right in there. So X bar I, Y bar I. Then I'll take my AI, and now my AI XI bar and my AI YI bar. Hopefully I can fit everything in there this time. I don't know. Try to be neat. Organized. Alright, so we're starting out with 1. So let me just make this column kind of thicker than it needed to be. We'll keep the bottom right in there. So I'm going to make it the line lighter as it goes down, hopefully, hoping to be able to erase it more easily. Just get down to the bottom. Okay, so X here, 6 plus 2, I could do that, 8. And now it's going to be 1 plus 2, so that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No R here. So this guy is 4, and he is 5. Right, that was easy enough. Of course, they got some more stuff that's coming up. The half circle is the one that's going to have to. We're going to have to look that up. I don't remember that off the top of my head. Is it like 4/3 R, something like that? No, that doesn't sound right. 3/4. No, I don't know. I'm going to look it up. All right, and. It's just going to be, we can do that in our heads, 80. It doesn't need to be that far, okay. Nope. Didn't do a great job of that one. I'm not doing this in the middle of the night. I think it's been happening in the last few weeks. All right, so now we have, what, 80 times 4, 320, right? Then we have 80 times 5, should be 400, right? Okay. Well, everything now is going to be, from now on, is a negative number, though, right? So we got a triangle. So the triangle's height is going to be 2, right? Sure. And no, that's width, dummy. It's going to be 8. So its X bar is going to be 2/3 times 8. So 8, oh, turn it back on. 8, 2 times 3 divide. So 5.333. Y bar is now going to be 8 plus 2 divided by 3. So 8 plus 2, 3. So that should be 8.6667 or whatever, right? .667. So the area here is 1/2 base times height, or 8 times 2 divided by 2, duh. But this is going to be -8, right? Is a negative area. And so we have a -8 times 5.333. And that means we get a negative 42.67. And then we're going to have a -8 times 8.667. Whoa. 8 times 8.6666. We get 69.333. And that's all negative. We should start drawing this line in there. Okay. Now, for this little guy right here, see, we decided to call him number 3. He is, width of it is just 1. The height of it is 3. Nothing with the radius here. The X bar is 6.5. Right, because you get 6 over in here. The Y bar is going to be, let's see, 1 plus 2 is 3, plus 5, plus 1.5, so 6, also 6.5. The area is 1 times 3, but make sure we see that it's negative. Make sure that's negative right here. So we get -3. So we have a -3 times 6.5. And that's going to be -19.5. And I think this is the same, right? Because it's still -3 times 6.5, -19.50. So we'll see, we'll make this a straight line. A little bit longer. And then we're out for the last part, which is just a quarter circle. So its radius is 1. And its X location. So this is where we actually have to look something up here. So let me see. Do I have any of the books open? I got Meriam and Kraige. Do they have this in the appendix? Or oh, I thought I saw it. Nope. Oh, there you go. Oh, excuse me. That's gross. Should be right here, right in the beginning. No. No. I'm gonna do a circle. There you go. It's 4R4/3. Okay, so there you go. It's this distance right here, but we got to be careful because that's from this part right there. So let me write this down here. I'll write it over to the. I'll make a little diagram over to the side to remind myself of this distance right here. It's going to be 4/3R, but over pi. Yeah, it sounded like it was familiar. I seem to recall it right there. So that's this guy. So we have to take this distance and subtract out that distance. So this was what we said, 8. So we're going to take 8 minus 4, 1 over 3 in pi. It did not have enough room for that, but we made it work, right? So we said 8, so 4 divided by 3, 1.333 is times 1, so that doesn't matter. And we're going to divide by pi and subtract out, and we got 7.57, call it 6. And y is easy enough because that's just 2. The area of this thing is going to be pi over 2, pi r squared over 2. So just pi over 2, really, right? So 1.57 was a negative, make that negative appear too. Negative 1.571. So we have negative 1.571 times 7.576. 7.576. So we end up with a negative 11.90. And over here we have a negative 1.571 times 2. So, negative 3.142. Of course, it equals to pi, because it was pi over 2. And okay, so the area that we have, 80 minus 8 minus 3 and minus 1.571. And we get a, pencil it, because I'll erase it. 67.43 square something. I don't know what they are. I didn't label what they were. Assume inches because we weren't told. I don't think I wrote down what it was, but it doesn't matter. So now here we take 320, subtract out 42.67, subtract out 19.5, and subtract out 11.9. And we have 245.9. Here, let's take 400, subtract out 69.33, subtract out 19.5, and then subtract out 3.142. Boom. And we're left with 308.0. So if we want the x bar, summation of the area times each individual x location, so we have 245.9, 67.43. Focus. Hocus Pocus by Focus. That's actually a song, by the way. There's actually a song called Hocus Pocus by the band Focus, and it is weird. And I'll play it for you some point. Not perform it, but play music for it. Maybe that's the opening ceremony of tomorrow's class will be. Hocus Pocus by Focus. There's yodeling in it. Yodelly, yodelly, yodelly. You think I'm kidding, don't you? Wow. Are you even listening to any of this? I don't know. I sure have taken up a lot of my time this semester. with these solutions. 4.568 inches. Now we should reflect. Do these make sense? Let me see. Let's take this thing and let's take a look. Well, 3.647. And the X. I guess this thing robbed a lot, right? This thing robbed a lot from here. I think I messed up right here. This is actually messed up. That should this should be 1/3. This should be right from there. Yeah. And this one right here, this should be 2/3. This was correct, I think. Maybe? No, this was wrong too. So I made two wrong things right here. So let me pause and try to fix that here in a second. But it did, I don't think it influenced the answer by too much. But I did rush through that right here. Because this should be over to here, right there. So let me fix that. Dinner's almost ready, so we have to pause for some of that pretty soon. Okay, so here I've fixed it. Here was the mistake. This should be 1/3, right? Because there's the fat end of this triangle, so it's only 1/3 of this length right there. So that went into this right there. And then there's also, we should have had 2/3 of this length added to this 8 right here in order to get to that. So that ended up being 9.30. So that cascaded somewhat over this, which brought down to this number. So here we go. This nearly, in the X, it's nearly halfway, right? But because we've subtracted out this and subtracted out that, it brought it back over. Normally, it would have been shifted over this way because of the thickness of this triangle. But that's my reasoning for this result. And this one, yeah, it's not quite halfway up, right? Because this is 10 tall. So kind of for the same reasons, right? This thing couldn't quite make it all the way. It's greater than halfway up to this, though. It's greater than halfway there. So I think this is a pretty reasonable result. Once again, a lot of places where we can make some mistakes, and the units we weren't told what the actual units were. So maybe I will make a sense that units not provided in problem statement. That's just a note for the grader. Okay.